Tonight on my team, a chance for redemption in the rain. Then a race with hopefully no pain. And is there really a chance we get our 5th win of the season? Hello everyone and welcome back to the F1 23 My Team Career Mode. Round number 12, the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroaring. Shock. But we haven't come along without some ammunition. Tons and tons of nitroglycerine, and more importantly, heave dampers. The FIA don't know about the nitroglycerine. Just don't tell them about it, okay? Not all sunshine and rainbows, though, because in the performance index, we're actually behind Haas and Williams. And you know what? Where's the nearest cliff? Looking at the season results so far, though, because it's past the fulcrum point, I think it's about time we looked at exactly how we've done so far. And we have the most wins out of anyone on the grid. The most wins and the most fastest laps. Like, I mean, come on, you can't write stuff like this, honestly. If you'd have told me that at the beginning of the season, I would have cackled. I would have laughed in your face maniacally. And probably given you PTSD. But you know what? So far, it's been a very good season. And even when things haven't gone our way, like Britain last time out in the rain, where the AI are cheating nonsense. But all is looking very good then. Ribena Racing, fast as ever and strong as ever. So let's keep up the strength and the momentum into qualifying. It's qualifying. Oh, Jesus, we're screwed. The rain is here and my depression is pouring. However, it's a chance for redemption for Ribena Racing after their terrible wet weather display last time out. There's the sexy vixen. He loves to get it all moist. Let's see if he enjoys it today. Although, I'm not the most optimistic man in the world. I mean, you saw for yourself how cataclysmic we were in the conditions last time in Britain towards the end of the race. Hardly had anything to answer for, losing multiple seconds a lap despite the AI finding grip out of their arse cheeks. So Carlos Sainz sets the fastest time, 1 minute 27.7, turns 1, 2 and 3. All seem very, very routine indeed, nothing to show for, nothing particularly exuberant either. So as we come through the last corner, I mean, it's 2 green sectors, so I'm not really expecting a huge amount as we go to cross the line in the Oh, we are cooking on this catamaran. The news is only set to get better as well. Just over 2 tenths up briefly, although skidding into the second to last corner has not done our time a world of favours whatsoever. It's the last corner, though, where we actually lost quite a bit of time, narrowing it out, gaining all the time back, but we dock in at the last curb, and I want to cry. But, crucially, we are still in first. This is it, then. End of qualifying, and we had 7 tenths over Max Verstappen. And we know the reason for that. He's bad. He doesn't want the smoke. He doesn't like the zest of this Ribena Racing machine. Into turn number 1 then. Not gaining much of the apex at all. In fact, losing time, but gaining it all back at the exit as the track is slowly but surely beginning to dry out. So confidence can be ramped up. Not that much, though. Gaining time on the entry that time, but losing it all at the exit. That turns a lot better, though. The right-hander provides us with a 10th's worth of improvement so far. Cascading up towards the left-hander, and I missed that apex. I couldn't hit water if I tried to jump into it. As through the right-hander we go, and there's a slow-moving car ahead of us, and it's Sergio Perez, who slows down in the racing line, and that has completely thwarted our plans. Sergio Perez, one of the top rivals of ours in the championship, impedes our lap time. And so, we abort the lap time, we recharge the battery, and we go again. And he tries using our slipstream just to add salt into the wounds, but this time, we are privy to it. And out of turn 1 this time, we gain a 10th and a half. The track now at its most optimal, only a few moments left to go of this short qualifying session. As through the left-hander we go, that's much more like it. That's so much more like it. Almost half a second despite bottoming out on the exit curb. We are flying now. That's a much better apex. Nearly 6 tenths up. Hulkenberg is ahead of us, and yes, he's on a lap as well, but we do have daylight between him and us, and he won't be lackadaisical on the racing line, which we can afford to have now, because we are just careering through this Hungaroaring circuit. We are hauling in the Haas car up ahead, 1.1 seconds up. And the track's ever getting faster, confirmed, because Hamilton now takes provisional pole. We go slightly wide, but it's a purple sector 2. We are flying. Hulkenberg, we are right under his diffuser. We can't wait around, so we send it down the inside, and we will easily get past. Not the most optimal of ways to complete our qualifying. Verstappen now taking pole position. Leclerc with a monstrous lap time. The Monegasque man does it, but across the line, can we do it? It's going to be so close. But yes, we've done it. Come on. Another pole position in Formula 1 for Ribena Racing, and it was, oh, Jesus, it was close. Oh, God, okay. Charles Leclerc, I didn't respect your game before, but that is quite frankly unbelievable. Half a second, over half a second, between himself and Max Verstappen in 3rd place, Ocon in 5th, McLaren 7th, 8th, Perez in 9th. Deserved. Hamilton in 10th. Oh, for God's sake. No, Ranfly, you cannot be serious. Why? Why did we get rid of it? If Enzo was a shark, Jack Doohan, you're a flounder. You are actually a flounder. No, worse, you're plankton, bro. This is disgraceful. There is no way. Even De Vries got 16th. How are you this bad? I'm going to ignore Jack Doohan on the basis that we got pole position. Sainz in 11th as well. A lot of the top hitters today haven't turned up. And that can only mean good things as we head into race day.
Button, Hill, Alonso and Kovalainen, the names of the drivers who had their breakthrough in Budapest, winning their first Grand Prix right here. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Grim Reaper lines up on pole position, Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Russell, Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Perez, Hamilton, Magnussen, Stroll, Albon, Hulkenberg, De Vries, Bottas, Tsunoda, Joe, Gasly, Sargent, Sainz, and Jack Doohan. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. A warm welcome to Natalie Pinkham, who is beside me in the commentary box today. We should talk about Williams. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within the team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that has definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Lots of top runners drawing blanks, lots of grid penalties. One hell of a chance. 5 lights out and away we go. That was almost instantaneous there, but we get away quite well. Verstappen does not get away well at all. But here comes Leclerc out of nowhere. Charles Leclerc, and we get it all crossed up. Tried to use our momentum on the outside, but we completely miss our braking point. Contact with us and Leclerc. Feisty stuff here on lap number 1, but Leclerc's through into the lead. The Monegasque man has mauled us off the line and is off into the distance in his prancing horse. Ocon's 3rd out of nowhere. Unbelievable start from the Alpine driver who qualified 5th. What a fantastic way to continue that positive energy in the Alpine department in, well, what has been a shambles for them, let's be honest. But at the end of lap number 1, we don't really put any pressure on Leclerc. Yes, we're outside of a second of Ocon. We know that our pace is well founded in the dry as well as in the wet. But we can't get close enough. We gain, but it's not enough, even with our confidence on the brakes. Almost chomping the cake of Charles Leclerc.
And it is mighty tasty.
But into turn number 3, once again, nothing we can do. A bit of a slide from Leclerc, but he has it all under control. Here we are, 5 red lights instantaneously. Out they go, and Leclerc deploying battery all the way down towards turn 1. I tried to squeeze him out and deter him, almost Schumachering him. There we go for a pint into a nearby pub. Instead of trying to retake our P1, we just got too overzealous and flustered. Leclerc makes the most of that, keeps his composure, and it's easily the lead of the race. So the Ferrari man taking his incredible pace in qualifying and transferring it into the race. Meanwhile, Doohan's first race, let's see what kind of impact he can make.
Oh.
Jack Doohan, you are an absolute positive energy though. Esteban Ocon, who is quite the opposite of Lecoq, because he gets a great start. It's Russell who doesn't get a great start to begin with. Verstappen's so focused on covering the Mercedes man. Ocon has a free avenue round the outside. Thanks for the real estate, he says. I'll rent that property out. And hippity hoppity, he's up into a podium position. Esteban Ocon is. Nifty little start there from the Alpine driver. What an effort from the Frenchman. Here we are though, and I'll tell you what, Leclerc was no easy customer to try and get past. He did not take this one lying down, as he gets the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 17.3. He's really rocketing along currently in this race, even with DRS enabled. We're not really close enough to try and do anything. A bit of ERS deployed to make the Energizer Bunny weep to death, but nothing doing. We're not close enough to try and make a move, even though, as you can see, look how confident we are. And look at the turn-in we have. We just can't get close enough to just find an avenue through for the time being. Leclerc defending this and managing this really well. But Ocon, it was only a matter of time. Max Verstappen, you see him in the mirrors, and it's good night, Irene. Off he goes, DRS wide open, and even before turn number 1, the Red Bull man is through, and here's Perez going for a move on Fernando Alonso. His synapses have let him down again. He's announced his retirement earlier this year. Clearly, he needs to start now.
That's a joke. Please don't take that seriously.
Just like in real life, though, immense respect between these two, and it shows as they remain side by side all the way up towards the left-hander. Perez will try and hold this out, and he sweeps round the outside! What a move from Sergio Perez! Oh. What a cheating pillock. Perez should be a member of the VAR team if he can see lines that badly. But through the chicane, and now on lap number 4, we are hitting our stride. Leclerc squirming around, and look how much pressure we are putting on the Ferrari man. Just under 3/10 behind him. It's only this corner here, in the higher, medium high speed corners, where we are really not gaining much time. The aerodynamics just letting us down. It's in these slower corners though, and in the corners where our chassis comes into play, that we are really able to throw this car around and exact and extract the maximum amount of pace possible. So DRS open, it's as close as we've ever been to the Ferrari man. We're gaining on Charles Leclerc. We are gaining more on Charles Leclerc. We're diving down the inside of Charles Leclerc. We're in the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. A nifty little move with a bit of DRS assistance to boot. But finally, the persistence and the pressure pays off on the Ferrari man. And we are up into P1 and trying to set about getting away. We are already outside of a second. Oh.
We are not outside of a second.
Charles Leclerc once again not taking this lying down. We are just outside of DRS range, so we protect ourselves from that threat. But even so, his pace is still monumental. Well then, this race could get tasty. Speaking of tasty, Russell thinks Ocon's cake is not. He thinks it's quite mouldy. So round the outside he goes. He's had enough of sitting behind that Alpine car. And he's got the DRS, a second helping, as he heads for the third course, the third corner. And it has paid off handsomely. And his hunger is well and truly quenched. That's not the right phrase, I don't care. But the point is, the Mercedes man now up into P4. Ocon only tumbling down the order even further. But as you can see, well, it's the end of the next lap, and we've only gained 2/10 on Charles Leclerc. We really aren't gaining that much at all. He's really putting us to the sword here. But yes, it is a gain. It is not the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination. But the Ferrari man is really flying in this race. As if we put all the pressure on him earlier, he's now piling it onto us. We gain lots of time on the exit of that corner. 1.5 seconds now the gap. We finally getting it together in this race. Picking up the pieces, joining the jigsaw of our quest for victory. And slowly but surely, we are making it so. 1.6 now the gap. Slowly the threat to Leclerc being curtailed. But what an impressive drive from Charles Leclerc as he heads on here. No, that's smoke! No, Charles Leclerc! No, after all the hard work, after the start he had, after all of the pressure and pace, The Tifosi's heart sink to the floor. Charles Leclerc is out of the Hungarian Grand Prix. The Monegasque man, his engine billows with smoke. Heartbreak for Leclerc, but as for Ferrari, well, get off the ketamine and do your job. Lap number 8 in this race, and now going past the graveyard of Charles Leclerc. Let's mourn that for a second. Okay, now back to our race. I'm actually genuinely quite upset about that, because honestly, he was my only threat in this race. He was, and a genuine threat at that. It's not like it was going to be me waltzing away like in Monaco or anything like that. He would genuinely had great pace, and I almost had no answer to it. So that would have been a great battle, especially come the pit stops, to see what on earth would have happened. But unfortunately, we've been robbed, quite frankly, of a bonkers battle for the win. But I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I'm genuinely upset because now, as you can see, through the last corner, the gap to Verstappen is now 5 seconds. Verstappen has no pace compared to us whatsoever. On to lap number 10 now. At 5.7 seconds, we've just put another over half a second on his head top for a brief moment. As Ocon now, as you can see, Norris and him fighting. Norris is actually through into P4, by the way. The McLaren driver is doing wonders with that car. Still on the hunt for the top places in the performance index, but even so, great effort from the British driver. As for us, though, onto lap number 11, we were under so little pressure and had so little threat. The gap is nearly 6.5 seconds as we head in for our first and only pit stop of this 35% race, hitting the marks absolutely perfectly. Now have to turn into them just as well, all the way trundling to the end of the pit lane. Can it be purple? Yes! Thanks again, Ronaldo, for deafening me. Medium tyres strapped onto the Ribena racing machine. Happy to introduce a new banana flavour for you all. Before I get cancelled, let's move on. A clean pit stop for once, no mistakes being made at all. And we do manage to get ahead of Gasly, because that would have been Heartbreak Hotel if that was the case. Luckily, we breeze ahead of the Alpine on the new mediums. We've gained time to Verstappen in the pit stop. Just casually another almost a second on the Red Bull driver. I will 100% take that. That's incredible stuff. And as we head onto the end of lap number 12, everyone else comes into the pits. We got DRS off Hulkenberg. And I think it's time that I showed you not only my fastest lap, but the fastest one of the race. Turn 1, brake after the 100-meter board, pinch it into the apex as much as possible. Imperative that you straighten out the car quickly and then plant the power, pedal to the metal, toboggan down towards turn 3, braking just before the 50 board, and then keeping it tight to the apex, using that understeer in the aerodynamics to get a nice run through that next complex. Up towards the left-hander, braking at the black box, and
Ignore.
hugging the curb on the inside to the right. Let the aerodynamics again supply all of the confidence you need. Brake as the curb starts for the chicane. Use as much of the curb as you dare, and then use the exit curb. Really use it, and then you can flick the car left and then right, and then use the exit curb again. Use all of the limits of the track you can possibly use, and then through the high speed.
Again, just ignore.
Down towards my favourite corner of the track, though, about when the curb starts. Get a bit of curb, and then use the exit curb. The car just feels so planted in that particular section. Be careful on the power here, but once you get the car confidence, you can just coax on the power, hug the inside of that curb, not too much on the outside, towards the line for a 1:16.1. Unbelievable lap time. Gap to Verstappen now over 8 seconds. And
I'm sorry if you don't want it spoiled, but I've won.
I've literally won this race. Like, nothing bad can happen to us. No, don't you dare. Well, since there's nothing happening in our world, I wonder how everyone else is doing. Funny you should ask, me. As everyone else coming out of the pits, it's the Lewis Hamilton show. He's undercut Perez and Piastri, and now he's going to put a car between himself and the Red Bull, surely. As he goes round the outside of Magnussen, will have the inside for turn 3, and through he goes into P7 for Lewis Hamilton. 7 championships, 7th place. Probably isn't the same sentiment, but Alonso now is not having any of Ocon's cake. He's decided that's going to have to be reimbursed. as down the inside he goes. That's a bit saucy. But with DRS, a second helping, he'll have the outside line against his former teammate, no less. But Ocon will fight this to the bitter end. He won't give this up at all. My goodness me. Argy-bargy between the two, still side by side briefly, but Alonso will win it out as he has the line for the left-hander. Easily past the Alpine for 5th place for the Aston Martin driver. Hamilton, though, sets about making life much easier for himself. Round the outside he goes, and he's proved that's already worked once with a second helping of DRS. Alonso had the outside line last time out. Hamilton, much more cutthroat, deciding the inside line is the way to go. Ocon squeezed out. Hamilton easily up into P6. He breezes through and now can set his sights on Alonso.
Meanwhile, our race is quite lonely, actually. Yeah, I need friends.
Verstappen behind you now. Okay, gap to the car behind. 9.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Your last lap time was 1 minute 18.0. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 41.3 seconds.
40 what?
Anyway, back to the action. On board with Guan Yu Zhou as he hunts down Yuki Tsunoda. But a bit of a slide on. Oh, no! Guan Yu Zhou gets it all crossed up. A snap of oversteer turns into a catastrophic snap. Oh, Logan Sargent! What have you done? The American lackadaisically crashes into Zhou. And what? Logan?
What the fuck?
Here with Hülkenberg, though, on lap number 18, and through the right-hander, he thinks full throttle is a good idea. Spins round, pirouettes the wrong way. It's another AI that's made a mistake, though. Hardly any AI mistakes I've seen in this game now. It's like they patched them out.
Conspiracy.
But after a 76-point turn, Hülkenberg will get back in this race, but he's going to lose a position to my teammate. Up into 18th now, but lap number 22, Carlos Sainz setting about going on Esteban Ocon. He's been passed by Magnussen in 7th. That's incredible from him. I've no idea how he's done that, but what an effort from the Haas driver. Carlos Sainz, though, looking to improve his points total, double his investment from 1 and make it 2. The Alpine has no answer. Sainz through into P9. Here we are, though, again. Finally, and I'll be honest with you, this is what we've been doing. Lap after lap of just rocketing along, getting the lap times down, and as we now lap kilometre man. That was very satisfying. But for us, I mean, what can you say? There's nothing to say. I mean, elsewhere, Russell almost caught Verstappen. Hamilton got past Alonso for P5. Norris in P4. So great races for the Brits there. But for us, there's one Brit at the centre point of it all. Our only threat was Charles Leclerc, and when he bowed out of this race, we took the spotlight and never looked back. It's race win 5 of F1 23. Ribena Racing has 5 wins this season, 6 if you include the sprinter Azerbaijan. What an incredible effort from everyone in the team.
No, certainly us, though, I'll be honest with you.
Driver of the day, Carlos Sainz. We've done it again.
Victory in Budapest then, and what a victory it is after an incredible Grand Prix. Natalie, fill us in. What was it that helped the team achieve their success today?
I feel consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
You know, my trophy cabinet just wasn't heavy enough. I'm just saying. 5 race wins, 7 podiums this season. When we are on our A game, boy, you better believe it. We raise the trophy to the heavens. Because that's where we are. It's 7th heaven with podiums. It's 5 times a race winner in Formula 1. Russell and Verstappen join us in the Sprite Zero celebrations. But it's absolutely incredible. I mean, what a race. We were we were over we were nearly 1.5 seconds quicker than anybody else this race. That's how quick we were this race compared to, like I said, if Leclerc was in this race, very different story. I actually think I would have had problems. Verstappen posed no threat to us whatsoever. And that's the first time, I think, since Monaco, and possibly Canada. Well, Canada, he's a pillar, basically. That's what happened. But Monaco really was the last time where I can confidently say I didn't feel properly threatened by him in a race. This is the second time. And boy, was it good. My God, we were on rails that race. The battle with Leclerc was so great, honestly. I wish it was more. Jack Doohan in the end claimed 17th, so I guess I can't be too mad, but I'm still a little bit enraged. Leclerc the only DNF though. Ocon did manage one solitary point in the end in P10. Just didn't have the legs in the Alpine in the end, but Norris in P4, Hamilton in P5. Alonso will probably feel a bit hard done by to just come out with P6 after that race, but it's still good points for himself and Aston Martin as we look now at the Drivers' Championship standings. And well, we are 3 points. 3 points off stardom. Max Verstappen feeling a little bit nervous, quaking in his boots, a bit hot under the collar because we are breathing down his neck. Perez is quite a sizable gulf to us now. Hamilton up to P4 now after that race in the drivers' standings. So the Mercedes man, he's coming through. He's going for it. He's going for the fateful 8th. That's for certain. Doohan's behind Nick De Vries. If that doesn't change by season's end, he's gone. He might actually be gone already, to be honest with you. I'm that angry. But even so, he's just a mug, to be honest with you. Constructors, though, Red Bull lead by a massive amount. Mercedes and Ferrari, the gap is hardly anything, and we are not far behind at all. Leclerc is my rival, though, and as much as I do say that he deserved more, he still didn't want it. Charles is swallowed up by the ether of shame as we get our acclaim. That was amazing poetry, but we are almost level 13 in team acclaim now. I gotta say as well, I didn't get to say it earlier because I just completely forgot, but Kevin Magnussen, my unsung hero, P7 in that Haas car, is now 10th in the Drivers' Championship standings. Don't sleep on Kevin Magnussen because as it turns out, he's not doing half a bad job at all, as we just casually have 1.7 million in the bank. A nice bit of dosh for some nosh. But that will do it. That will do it for the Hungaroaring. And next up, we head to another absolutely historic venue, Spa-Francorchamps. And who knows, maybe we could go for win number 6. If you did enjoy this episode of the My Team Career Mode, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Still, an absolutely monumental amount of you haven't clicked subscribe, and I'm sad. I'm really sad. But if you click subscribe, I will turn my frown upside down. Will we win the next race in Belgium? Probably not. But you never know in this game. We'll do our level best. Until then, though, once again, I thank you for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, I'll see you soon.